Because if you look at our country versus Europe, sorry, I realize Europe's not a country. I do love your Euro trip, by the way. But you look at us versus the multitude of different cultures on planet Earth, we live to work. And other cultures work to live. And it's very, very well documented in the Harvard Business Review and various other things. I can't remember off the top of my head, TBI. But we have a compulsion to work for the sake of working in the United States. And that, I think, is already a very unhealthy mindset. And that's just my opinion, but what do I know? I don't know. Does that feed the beast a little bit or no?
Yeah, I mean, you know what you know because that's what your experience is in, and that's kind of what we're talking about here. I mean, you kind of hit a note on controls, right? So we build this, in recovery, talk about the locus of control, internal, external. So there's a lot of an external locus of control that existed around societal norms. Like you said, get up in the morning, go to work. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. If you don't get paid, you don't have a life. You don't have the rest of the stuff. But what happens when you don't have to get up for work, right? It's what happens when you don't have to have your controls in place. And then, like you said, it's a chicken or egg. Were these pre-existing conditions, not necessarily conditions, but just unrealized conditions, right? This was my coping mechanism that I used intermittently, but then when all the wheels came off, it was the only coping mechanism that I had. And that's where I think that you're kind of making a point is the fact that these people that only had one type of coping mechanism, but they had a whole load of controls in place, all of a sudden that one coping mechanism is it. And that coping mechanism just goes off the rails.